Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio,
WPEK Fairview,
WMXF Waynesville,
W225CJ Candler,
the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. So welcoming in Jeremy Green from the NFLDraft.net Mullet Manor. Of course, I'm James Spencer from the Ingalls studio, and we are the Sportsocracy. And today is...
Jeremy's still halfway high on Benadryl Tuesday.
I was going to see if I was going to get you to try to squeeze out a Power Rankings Tuesday with that groggy, NyQuil-filled head of yours.
I go to the beach every year. I forget somehow every year that the minute I come back to the mountains, my face explodes. And I cannot stand it. There are these things outside. Maybe you've seen them. They have leaves. They're called trees. They emit this toxic thing that my face does not like. And it's awful. Everybody's like, oh, isn't it so pretty? No. You know what it means for me? Death. Immediate, instantaneous, sinusy, awful death. But they make oxygen. Well, some of you don't deserve it. So maybe we should have less of
that, apparently. Welcome into the Sportsocracy. It's already begun, ladies and gentlemen. He's already talking about withholding oxygen from some of you.
Probably not anybody listening to us. Probably not anybody listening to us. If you're one of the ones I'm talking about, I pissed you off a long time ago. So you...
So they don't listen anymore.
Nah. And if they do it angrily. Like Dave.
Sure.
Dave that likes to send the program directors messages and say, you should take them off the air. We enjoy those. Hi, Dave.
We do. Hi, Dave. Welcome in, Dave. It's another day here in the Sportsocracy. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday today. NFL head coaches, 32-1. We'll rank all of them. I wish we could say that we'll keep you up to date on the latest and greatest of the news around the cycle. There is zero going on at the moment. Except for the fact that College Football 26 came out yesterday, and that's really why Jeremy's sick and hungover today, is because he played too long last night.
No, we don't drink and game, bro. I don't need to give you any form of advantage because I'm gonna beat you 117-0. I already got some questions in the YouTube chat of, hey, how's the game? It's fantastic. It's much more realistic. You don't really realize how arcadey last year was until you play this one. And Alabaster Thunderhammer is really enjoying playing for Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia.
When you say arcadey, what does that mean?
It's not as realistic, so you get things that don't really. So NFL Blitz was the ultimate NFL arcade game. It feels after you play the new game, it does after you play the new one. Because you realize guys now actually will stand up when they're hit. You can break more than one tackle. See, I like playing with bigger running backs, so I want to run over corners. This year, if you have 3 corners out in the boundary and a big old tight end, he might run over all 3 of them. That didn't happen last year.
So they turned up the Brock Bowers on it.
They also turned up the injuries. So if you're Tank and you want to just run your player into the ground, cool. He's going to be dead in about the third quarter of game 2. So you should probably – you can turn it down.
Oh, I'm going to.
But in Dynasty, it's another layer of this. You know, last year when you'd have like 1 or 2 guys transfer and the transfer portal wasn't quite as deep?
Not the case anymore.
Not anymore.
Nope.
I started a Dynasty.
175 every week getting into the portal, it feels like. You got to make that more realistic. I
started a Dynasty last night. I was the offensive coordinator at South Carolina, 2025 NCAA champions. What up, Shane? I took the Nebraska job because it was the one that was offered to me. Everybody transferred. I added 35 recruits. I still didn't have 85 players. That's how many players transferred out of the program. I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun. I have 4 players. Sweet.
That's a new challenge.
I have Dominic Raiola and
open tryouts at that point.
No, you do walk-ons, and then you can cut the walk-ons a year later. But yeah, right now, that Nebraska team, we have a quarterback, a running back, a tight end, and 1 wide receiver. Pretty obvious where the ball's going on pretty much every play.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Austin Groves also wanted to know the cornerbacks still jumping into the clouds.
Nope. No, they are not. And wide receiver open is actual honest to God receiver open. Like when you see a guy that's all right, if we were playing actual football, if I would let this ball go, he's open. Which is going to be different for some of you that were used to the all-go, stack, shotgun. Hey, look, nobody went with my wide receiver. That's cool. That's open. This is actual football open, and I'm a big fan of it.
Okay, all right. So it's a more realistic gameplay, says Flostradamus. And what was it you said that if you hadn't lost on College Football 25 in a while, you will lose on this game?
You will. If you play this on Heisman, you will lose.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to level with you. I would mush the face of probably 99.9% of people who play this game. I've already lost one. To the computer, which I was not prepared for.
All right, so there is your official review of College Football 25. Have you seen any of the new additions as far as extra content or extra celebrations and stuff like that? That's noteworthy?
The gameplay is. If you liked last year, you will like this year. If you didn't like last year, there's a possibility you'll like this year. It feels bigger. Like the in the stadium, the lights, all of it. It's better than it was last year. I like all of those things. I want it to feel really realistic, and it does.
Yep. Wheels for Meals, Western North Carolina, chiming in, says actually today is National Video Game Day. So really they should have released it today, but you got it the day early because, Mr. VIP and all that.
No, it wasn't VIP. I guess it kind of was because I paid.
Yes.
It also asks you, do you have bonus content? I don't know what that means, but I just keep hitting yes, and it just keeps giving me things. So,
do you have bonus content?
Yeah, it's from the pre-order. They gave you a whole bunch of stuff.
I got you. Interesting. All right. Well, if you got college football 26, hopefully you're having fun, and hopefully you took a little vacation so you can enjoy it before you got to go back to work. I've seen so many people commenting and sharing the memes. They're like, I can't wait to start a dynasty and play it for a month and then never touch it again. Like, that does seem to be the way it goes for many of us when you get the video game and you're all excited about it, and then you get real busy and there it goes.
You should get less busy.
I haven't played it in a while.
You should get less busy. Start a podcast. Join a radio network. You'll be less busy, I promise.
Today is a Power Rankings Tuesday here on the Sportsocracy. As we count down the days, we are officially under a month away from preseason football getting underway for everybody, not just the Hall of Fame game. Was just going through some stuff earlier today and noticed that August the 7th appears to be that's the weekend when everybody gets underway for the first week of preseason action. So we are officially within striking distance.
We're less than a month away from preseason football.
Yes, indeed. So start off with the worst coaches in the league. The worst coach in the NFL, number 32, this week's Power Rankings is who?
Brian Schottenheimer. Not close.
Not close.
Not close. Okay, now I should give, and I saw this in the chat. I saw a bunch of questions about this, so I just want to answer them all at the same time. Here is how I do power rankings for coaches. First of all, if you're a first-time head coach, there's no shot you're inside the top 20. It never goes that way. Every single time we get new coaches, you get high expectations and things like that, and then they don't pay off. So I limit first-year head coaches from 21 to 32. I do have a first-time head coach that's really close to 20, though. Then I go from there of, okay, if I'm the owner of an NFL team and I can have any coach, what order would I draft them in? Mm-hmm. So I have some guys that are higher, say, than Tank. I have some other guys that are lower because I don't buy into them. And then there are a couple that fall into a spot because I can't have you anywhere else. It just doesn't make sense to have you anywhere else. Right. I.e. the coach of Tank's football team.
Brian Schottenheimer is the longtime assistant that gets a shot. And I'm just, if it weren't the Dallas Cowboys, nobody else would have done this. I don't feel like anybody else would have hired Brian Schottenheimer. Do you?
Oh no, stop that. The thing with Brian Schottenheimer for me was name me the team in the NFL that if they had the option would straight up trade coach for coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer didn't interview anywhere else. You know why? And he really hasn't over many, many years because he's not looked at that way. People in NFL circles look at Brian Schottenheimer and go, if your name was Brian Smith, you would probably be a wide receivers or a quarterbacks coach somewhere. The fact you're Marty's kid helps a lot. And then Jerry fell in love with you because, well, you're a yes man that's going to do what he tells you to. Mm-hmm. I don't put any stock into that. I really don't. I think it was a terrible hire. I thought it was a terrible hire at the time. And really, the more I think about it, the worse it is.
The only excuse that makes any sense in my head as to why this is how this went down was because it was another person that Jerry knew he could control. And that doesn't serve you any good if you're the Dallas Cowboys. So even if I thought this team was really good, which I don't think there's very many people out there that actually do, even Dallas Cowboys fans I think can be pretty level-headed at times about this team. You're going nowhere with Brian Schottenheimer.
I can't forget what I saw for many, many years out of him. Look, he had some decent offenses with Seattle. Mm-hmm. He had a decent offense for a year with Dallas. I still don't think he's a great play caller. I remember him for many years with my New York Jets. I'll be honest with you, Brian Schottenheimer is a bad word in my parents' house. Because if you say his name in front of my father, you're going to get to hear his feelings on the subject. And they are, well, they're a little vulgar. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a great play caller. I don't think he's a great coach. And I think he's kind of a goober. He's the guy that wears visors backwards. And I just stop. Just stop.
Well, I mean, he is a goober. I mean, he's from that 90s era of gooberdom.
There's a new word.
Yeah. I don't see how you can be excited.
I don't either.
Really don't.
I don't think Cowboy fans are even excited about this.
No. I mean, I would have rather had you go hire Brian Daboll.
Don't worry, you won't have to wait long to hear that name. The bottom three coaches in my power ranking have one thing in common. I mean, well, two things.
Brian.
They're all named Brian, and they're all not great coaches.
So which Brian is number 31?
My 31 is Brian Callahan.
Okay.
He's another one.
Titans.
And I want to like him. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the thing he has done so far as a head coach that makes you go, yeah, let's go. Let's doing stuff. You out loud picked a fight with your quarterback in the media last year. Your offense was, to say predictable and uninspiring, are probably the two nicest adjectives I could give you. Mm-hmm. And I don't really think anything's going to change. The bad thing about Brian, and he's one of the nicest people you ever meet in your life. He reminds me a lot of his dad. I think you're really smart. I don't necessarily think you're a great leader.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's hard to find young coaches who know how to do that. Right, who know how to be the leader, and when you say leader, I mean that goes into having experience and being the savvy veteran and all of that, knowing how to handle your players. And I mean, Brian Callahan, he may be one of these, great offensive mind guys that we hear all about. But unless you have, I don't know, help around you, I don't know that you're going to be that successful. And I get that he has his dad to lean on, but I think he's still a guy that probably has a pretty decent future as a head coach. But for right now, he's been in a nightmare scenario.
I don't agree with you on one thing you just said. I don't think he has a very bright future as a head coach. Because I don't see how he's ever getting another job. I also don't really see how he's going to keep this job in Tennessee for much longer. There's just nothing about him. All right, I'll pair a question to you. Mm-hmm. Let's say Tennessee overachieves this year. And you tell me what you think overachieving for Tennessee would be.
Oh, good Lord.
I can't stop looking at their schedule going, if you win 4 games, they should make a bronze statue out of Brian Callahan.
Yeah, I would say like 6, 7 games would be overachieving.
All right, so let's say they go 6-11, and you win a couple games that you really shouldn't have, and you hold serve against the bad teams. So you beat Jacksonville, you beat the Saints, you beat the Browns, maybe you steal one from the Colts. However you get there. Brian Callahan have a job in a year?
Depends.
I'll say no.
It depends.
I'll say no, and I'll tell you why. Because you have a team that's going into a new stadium. I believe the stadium will be done for 27, not for 26, but notwithstanding. You had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and you still had no momentum whatsoever. This is still top 5 most boring teams in the NFL. And if you don't believe me, ask their fans. We have some really good ones that listen to the show, and they're like, there's just not a whole lot of pop here. And one of the reasons is because your coach is just absolutely boring as hell. And it's hard.
Team's no good. That's the big problem.
It doesn't matter. Somebody has to take the fall. It's not going to be the GM, because the GM at the end of the day has done a pretty good job. I look at who they drafted. I look at who they've added. The GM, I'm on board with. If there's a failure here, it's not going to fall on the quarterback. It's not going to fall on the GM. It's going to fall right at the hands of Brian Callahan. And if that happens, what does he have to do to get another job? This is a guy that's only 41. I think he's 3 years older than me. He's 41 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he goes back to Cincinnati and another resurgence with Joe Burrow. Is he getting another bite at the apple? Because I would say no.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you. So how does it happen?
I mean, all you got to do is win with Joe. If you go on a streak,
that doesn't change the fact he's been a bad head coach. Well, sure. He's been a bad head coach that's going to be a really tough sell to an owner.
So was Raheem Morris, and he got another crack at it.
Raheem Morris is top 5 smartest people I've ever talked to in my life.
Okay.
Legit. Raheem Morris it is not hard to figure out how that dude gets in a room with an owner and dazzles them with footwork, as my father used to say. Raheem Morris is one of the only people I've ever talked to about football that said terms that I went, I'm not 100% sure I know what that means. And that's coming from me. I get how Raheem Morris got there. I think this is one of the great fallacies of NFL head coaching. Most guys get one shot. 8 of 10 coaches are not hired a second time. Brian Callahan will be one of those 8, I promise you. There's just nothing about him that screams the guy. He fits as an OC with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's the guy. He doesn't really fit with Cam Ward in Tennessee, which is a team that's not as popular as you would want them to be outside of Nashville. It just doesn't sell. There's no pizzazz to him whatsoever. And you even look at guys in front of him. One of the things that's funny to me, the guy at 30 is him made over. They're the same person. Just one of them got a crack at the head coaching apple a little earlier than the other one did.
And that would be at number 30?
Brian Daboll.
Brian Daboll.
Brian Daboll and Brian Callahan are the exact same guy, just one of them's a little bit older. Oh, you're really good offensively. Yep, and I could easily see a path that Brian Callahan goes to toil and mediocrity as the quarterback's coach at Alabama for 3 years. And then just cycles around. Then he has one really good year. Oh, but wait, we already did that. He got the opportunity earlier than Callahan. Or he got the opportunity earlier than Daboll. That's the only thing that separates them. There's nothing special about their scheme at all. Kyle Shanahan, I don't love Kyle Shanahan. The scheme is special. It works with multiple different people. At the end of the day, Brian Callahan worked with Joe Burrow, and Brian Daboll worked with Josh Allen. And for 1 year against the worst schedule in the NFL, he halfway worked against Daniel Jones. or worked with Daniel Jones until they went up against a team that had talent that was playoff caliber, and they got smoked like a deli meat. Those aren't guys that owners go, oh, yeah, I can't wait to hire him. Because, look, I think the selling jerseys thing and the merchandising, all of that is largely irrelevant to the football people. It's not irrelevant to the owner. Mm-hmm. Brian Callahan and Brian Daboll are the only two coaches in the NFL that straight up, they can walk right through the lobby of any event that you and I work, and nobody goes after them. There's nothing to them whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to lead an NFL team. Good coaches tend to be big personalities. They tend to be really, really bright, and they tend to command a room. None of these bottom three do.
Right.
They're just Brians.
Brian Schottenheimer, Brian Callahan, Brian Daboll, the three worst coaches in the NFL, according to the Sportsocracy. We'll be back on the Power Rankings Tuesday, right after this.
For the 2020
Clear
Braves,
Thank you.
It's time to dial in, which means every game means a little more.
First pitch, ground ball right side. Diving stop by Ozzie. Got him. Whoa, what a play by Albies.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The mountain's home for the Braves on Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Gear up, music fans. Hyundai is back as a proud partner of the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Join us as our electrifying all-star lineup hits the stage like never before.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio.
Can I just state for the record how much I love our sponsors?
Why is that?
A home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me,
so in some of
Realty,
my
your local real estate expert, guide you
other
every step of
endeavors,
the way. Whether you're searching
I've had
for
to
your
deal with
dream
other
home,
people's
looking to sell
sponsors.
quickly, or exploring
Ours,
investment
like you send them an email,
I've
they
got
just
the
respond to me in
experience
like
and
20
the
minutes.
tools to get you the best
I love that. You know what I don't love?
Marshall with eXp Realty at
There are some other people who I've dealt with that have sponsors that respond in like 2 weeks.
A reality.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you an email on Monday and you responded in August.
Bear Smokehouse Bar. Two things that all Sportsocracy fans.
Our activation with Bears, we just processed the whole thing literally during the show in 27
Bear
minutes.
Balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried, and then
That's the way it's
topped with
supposed to
bacon
go.
and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville on a Power Rankings Tuesday. Looking at the NFL head coaches for 2025. We had, 7 coaching changes this past season, or past off season. We've got, 2 retreads that certainly will not be ranked low on the Power Ranking. We've got the newcomers who get filtered in, what'd you say, after 20?
Yeah, I will not put a first-time head coach inside the top 20. I just don't feel like that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're setting expectations. Look, there have been a slew of good coordinators that have not been good head coaches. Something that nobody ever wants to talk about, almost all head coaches at some time were really good coordinators.
Brian Daboll.
I did say almost all, and Brian Daboll would probably be the one that I went, Brian Daboll had a year with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Also, never forget, Brian Daboll worked for the Jets for about 7 years. I've never seen another person that I went, how the hell did you get a job? Like, how did anybody sit down in a room with you and go, yep, that guy? More than Brian Daboll.
Wait, I thought you were a big Daboll fan.
No, I was not. I was big on his work with Josh Allen because I thought Josh Allen was a broken toy. Then I figured out, oh, wait, it worked with Ken Dorsey, and Ken Dorsey is not – he is real high in the palace of gooberdom, as you called it.
Gooberdom, yeah.
By the way, that is something I'm going to make a shirt out of. I'm trying to find a way to do it that I can sell it anywhere that didn't require a TVMA disclaimer. I want to make it like a palace. It's like the palace of gooberdom, but you know where my brain's going. So,
well, of course, you just have to look to the original VHS cover of Little Mermaid for the Palace of Gooberdom. That's exactly what it looked like.
Wait a minute, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Go look up. Go Google VHS Little Mermaid cover.
Oh my! Oh, yeah. Oh my!
That's the palace.
Okay, that's the thing you did. Yeah, all right.
That's the phallus in the palace, actually. Thank you. Church.
Phallus in the palace. That's the next name of a Diddy album if he ever gets out of jail.
Okay, Power Rankings Tuesday. The number 29 head coach for the 2025 NFL season is who?
Duval. That's old Liam Cohen himself.
Oh, Liam.
I don't think he's a great coach. I also think he's been empowered in a way that he is doomed to fail.
Okay.
Name me another first-time head coach that's not Ben Johnson. Ben was the hottest coordinator on the market for 3 years that has ever been emboldened the way that Liam Cohen has. Anybody else trading next year's first-round pick? Anybody else giving that kind of autonomy when they haven't coached a single snap in your city? No. You know why? Because it's stupid. And I just look at him and go, I don't really – I mean, do I think he's smarter than Doug Peterson? No. Do I think he's smarter than Urban Meyer? No. This is just, to me, doomed to be another in a line of Jacksonville Jaguar failures. Now, you're the Tampa Bay guy, so if you want to tell me why I'm wrong, I'll be more than willing to listen.
I mean, I don't know that you're wrong. And I don't know that he has anything that's his own. That's the thing that would have concerned me about making him a head coach is I don't know that you do anything that's Liam. Right? I can point to Ben Johnson and go, Ben Johnson's offense, that was historic. He did incredible things in Detroit with his scheme, right? Liam Cohen has been what? You know, a part of the Sean McVay fan club, or I guess it's not a fan club. It would be the Sean McVay posse, right? He was spent 2 years with the Rams, and even in that time, like he bounced back and forth between there and Kentucky, right?
All right, so I'll tell you a fun story about Liam Cohen that I haven't heard anybody mention more than once or twice.
Uh-huh.
The last time that Liam Cohen had the same job in back-to-back years was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
He's only done it 2 times in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
He bounces around like a bouncy ball.
But he got endorsed though by Canales and McVay, I guess. And so he comes to Tampa and takes over what Canales left behind. You said yourself it got better. You're right, the offense freed up more. They started churning a little bit more consistently, I guess, with Liam in the last year. But, I mean, is that because you had talent and a system in place and all you did was just kind of tweak it? Now, can you take that same system and move it forward yourself with a new team is the question. And I don't know. I don't know if he has that in him. I mean, he seems like a guy that the players relate to, and I didn't hear any complaints about him amongst the Bucks players last year. But because he doesn't stay in one spot very long, it's kind of hard to tell who he is and what he can bring to the table.
Liam Cohen, and I'll give Andrew Adams credit here. He said this in our YouTube chat. He did make Will Levis look good for 1 year at Kentucky. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you another little stat about Liam Cohen. How many years has he been an offensive coordinator in the NFL?
A coordinator?
Mm-hmm.
1.
2. Oh, he was the de facto... Sean McVay calls the plays, but I'm the titled coordinator for the Rams.
Okay.
There's a reason that I said it that way. In the 2 years he's been an offensive coordinator, he was 4th in the NFL in points scored with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was 27th with the Rams. That was with Sean McVay, by the way. This guy was bouncing around like a bouncy ball a handful of years ago, and now all of a sudden you're telling me that this guy is all of the sudden this really qualified coaching candidate? Oh yeah, then why did nobody else have really any interest in him whatsoever? Jacksonville got pushed into a corner of our job's not very attractive. There are only a handful of it was not a good coaching cycle, and they got put into a corner with Liam Cohen. And now they're acting like they're contenders, and they're not. If you look at that roster and you're really honest with yourself, it's not a great roster. Has a lot of names because they've picked in the top 10, I think, since 1992. They have a couple good players, but it's not a good roster. And there's nothing about Liam Cohen that I've ever seen that makes me think he's going to be a great head coach.
Nope.
I don't buy it. And I'm probably never going to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Liam Cohen, first-year head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 29. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Showers, thunderstorms scattered around the next few afternoons. It's really not today. I think later in the week and toward the weekend, we might start seeing some pretty high totals of rain coming in, and we may be looking at a little chance of some flooding. I know that's been on everybody's mind. A few showers, thunderstorms, 90 this afternoon to feel a little bit hotter. Any showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers.
Your video
tomorrow,
just disappeared,
more
so you know.
showers and thunderstorms Thursday.
Yep, I got it.
Our channel. I'm Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored
All of
by
a sudden, I was looking at 2 of myself.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone.
Kicked out the cord again.
You find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just 1 pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com.
You got to turn the audio off your computer.
Music. But what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
Things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio.
What's your outside story?
iHeartRadio app.
You told me the other two. I don't think you ever told me
We
this one.
found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy. Just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out.
The Speedway Classic. Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips. And
I think I could have hung out with Charlie Sheen for the weekend, and my nose would not be in worse shape than it is right now.
Of the Ingalls Table magazine, and let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, and we mentioned how we were just under a month away from preseason football. We're also under a month away from the first ever Major League Baseball game at a racing venue. The Speedway Classic, well, I mean, unless you count McCormick Field that used to be a racetrack. But the Speedway Classic, Atlanta Braves, Cincinnati Reds, you'll hear it right here on ESPN Asheville. August the 2nd in Bristol, Tennessee at the Bristol Motor Speedway. They are once again transforming the infield into a different sports playing surface. They did the football games there years ago. Now they're doing baseball. And I got to tell you, you get excited about uniforms and stuff, Jeremy, and all the other sports. Baseball's not one you usually get excited about the uniform for, but Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds has released what his catcher gear is going to look like for the Speedway Classic, and I'm telling you, it's an all-timer. It's all in the Ricky Bobby paint scheme of the Wonder Bread car. It's got the little Cincinnati red leg cartoon baseball head guy with the mustache on the front of it. The back strap on it says, "If you ain't first, you're last." He's got the red checkered flag going up the helmet and on the cleats as well. It's pretty slick looking. It's probably one of the best uniforms I've seen lately.
That is pretty solid, but I mean, he missed. You're doing a baseball game at a NASCAR track. You missed the layup.
What was that?
Do it for 3. This one's for Dale. You just get you a big old Intimidator black car in that glove. Be sweet.
Okay.
Be sweet. I, in South Georgia this past week, had over an hour conversation of why Dale Earnhardt was the GOAT. And I spoke maybe 3 times. That became my new favorite person on the planet.
Nice.
My story is about Caden Finley. He is the son of Jermichael Finley that has now committed to Notre Dame. I don't know if you know this or not. Notre Dame has one of the best group of lineage wide receiver classes that you've ever seen. So they have Caden Finley, They also have the children of Plaxico Burress, Jerome Bettis, and Larry Fitzgerald.
Nice.
They're all in Notre Dame's wide receiver room. But that's not why I'm telling this story. The reason I'm telling this story is because Caden Finley committed to Notre Dame 3 days ago.
Okay.
2 days ago, he did something that I think should be consistent going forward. He went to Twitter, made a post, said, "Forever grateful, God's plan," with a little 3-leaf or 4-leaf clover. And then he went through all of the schools he didn't pick and put a personalized message to all of them. So he chose Notre Dame over Texas, Arizona State, and Texas A&M. He's from Texas, by the way. His dad played at Texas A&M. He went through and listed out the coaches, and I'll just give you a little snippet. To Texas, he said, "I have the utmost respect for Coach Sarkisian and his staff. UT has always been a special place for me and my family. Coach Jackson has become one of my most influential mentors throughout the process, and I value our relationship forever. With guys like Arch Manning and Dia Bell leading the way, Texas is set up for big success, and I wish them nothing but the best." He did that to every school that he bypassed. I think that's one of the coolest things I've seen a kid do in a long time. Because you always see the me first, the little image with their signature of "I've chosen to play at blank," and a lot of them do it 5 or 7 or 42 times.
Right.
By the way, one of my big takeaways from the college football game, you play Road to Glory, you can verbally commit as many times as you want to. And it doesn't matter, and it specifically tells you that. You can verbally commit, but it doesn't really change anything. It locks them into you, but not you into them. Sweet. Thanks for saying that way, EA, because you're exactly right. I thought that was a cool thing that Caden Finley did.
Yeah, interesting. So he wrote everybody and said, "Good luck. I chose somebody else."
And he personalized it into, "This is why I considered you." And he shouted out somebody on every one of those teams, too.
You know, that's not a bad idea. In the world of transfer football, you may need that school later.
Hey, who knows? He may end up playing for all 4 of them.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. Something may happen. You may end up, you went to go play for Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, and something happens. He gets fired this year, and all of a sudden you need to turn around and try to go to play for Sark. Sark's going to remember. He'll remember that you wished him well. All right. That's, they talk a lot about not burning bridges in business. Maybe this is a new thing in college football recruiting. You don't want to burn those bridges down with those coaches that you turned down, because you may have to return to the well at some point. And maybe more than once. All right, let's get back into the head coach power ranking on a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Number 28 head coach for the year is who?
Kellen Moore.
Not a lot of hope for him?
Well, it was a tie with 27.
Okay.
Aaron Glenn. That's 2 first-time head coaches with rosters that I don't think are very good. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they're going to be as head coaches. I always looked at Aaron Glenn as one day you're going to get a shot, and I like Aaron a lot. I think he's a good defensive mentor. I have absolutely no idea what that offense is going to look like, and everything he says scares me a little bit more than the last thing he just said. I don't know that you're going to be a good head coach. You were good coordinators. That's really all I've got on you right now.
Yep. Both those teams don't – neither of those teams have high hopes for the year, but it's year one of a new era. Still feel like Glenn's a little better set up than Kellen Moore is.
I agree. That's why I had him one spot ahead of him.
But there again, Kellen Moore has more control. So it's a give and take.
I don't necessarily agree with what you just said.
Kellen Moore does not have more control than Aaron Glenn?
I don't think so. Okay. I think they're pretty equally yoked in that. I will say Kellen Moore probably has more leeway than Aaron Glenn does. because he inherited a team that is just bereft of talent. So, I mean, Kellen Moore gets a full-on blip year. Aaron Glenn's not going to get that.
Right.
The Jets want to be and expect to be competitive in year one. Whether they will be or not, I'm going to lean towards no. But I liked Aaron Glenn a little bit better as a coaching prospect. You just really don't know what those teams are going to look like. That's what makes this list so hard, is that it's virtually impossible to look forward. The bottom four, your teams are bad, and I don't think you're very good either. I think Kellen Moore and Aaron Glenn could both be good coaches, just in real bad situations.
Number 26.
Zach Taylor. I'm tired of acting like he's a good coach. I am. I'm tired of acting like it because it's just not true. I think Yosemite Sam could coach the Cincinnati Bengals and probably have as much success as Zach Taylor has.
Okay.
We didn't like him in the beginning. He had that 1 year where they go to the Super Bowl, and we just thought, oh, he's really good. He's really figured it out. Do you know what's happened since then? The offense has regressed every single year. Whether it was the line or injuries, doesn't really matter. The product on the field at full strength has been a little bit less and a little bit less every year. And I think it's because they're not getting high-level instruction. I really do. I don't think Zach Taylor's a good coach. And if he got fired right now, I'm pretty confident nobody is barking up his door again.
Yeah. Zach Taylor's one of those that I still don't think that there's – well, I guess I just don't think there's much to it. And this, I guess I agree with you that I feel like pretty much anybody could probably coach this offense with these weapons. But when the weapons are there and Joe's playing, it's good. It's real damn good. They just can't win because, I mean, first thing is we need to figure out, can he win early in a season?
That's another thing that really bothers me.
Because this is this whole we start every year 1-3 thing. It's obviously not fun for Cincinnati Bengals fans, but it's starting to become comical. You do that again this year, just fire him 5 games in. You started out this season like 1-6, which, looking at that schedule, it would be hard to do. But if you started out like 1-3, keeping in mind that your first 2 games are against the Browns and the Jaguars, I think we got to start thinking about the coaching change early in the season.
I honestly look at Cincinnati and go, you're going to be in the same boat you were in half a decade ago with Marvin Lewis, and it's coming soon. Because I don't think Cincinnati's a playoff. I think they're a borderline playoff team. They might make it because Joe Burrow's that good. And you're constantly going to live in that spot. And your ownership group is so cheap that they just won't fire you.
Yeah.
That we'll just keep doing this. It'll be Marvin Lewis 2.0.
Well, as long as he can keep pointing to and saying that we're a top 5 offense when we're healthy, that's always going to be something that he can keep in his quiver, right? But you can't keep underperforming with a top 5 offense.
The funny thing is, I think he's had 2 really good defensive coordinators. Because I still love Lou Anarumo, and I like Al Golden. He inspires no confidence in me whatsoever. He's one of those that falls into the I had lunch with Sean McVay, and so people think I'm smart. I don't necessarily think he is.
Right.
We have a super chat to that extreme as well. Soaring Eagle said Joe Burrow really is the modern day Dan Marino. I'm starting to worry about that. I'm starting to legit worry about that.
I mean, he could be.
It could be the exact same narrative.
He could be.
Hey, I got to a Super Bowl, and then I never sniffed it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a little early to start thinking about that because he's going to have a coaching change, right? I mean, he's not going to be stuck with Zach Taylor forever.
I don't know that you're right. I'm just telling you, I don't know that you're right.
No.
Look at Cincinnati's history.
You can't keep going 9-8 with the best quarterback in the game, or one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and keep doing it.
Just look at Cincinnati's history.
I know they did it with Carson Palmer.
That's been a team since 1968. They've had 10 head coaches total. 10. Mm-hmm. 2 of them have winning records. And one of them is just barely.
I don't think they're going to saddle him with Zach Taylor.
I hope you're right, but I have no faith in that whatsoever. We have two more. We have 2 more. Like they're not really. I feel like they have to be lumped together.
What?
Our next 2 on the list.
Next to what? Quarterbacks?
Coaches on the list.
Coaches? Well, we got to take a break.
I know.
So,
I was trying to tease it of they're the same guy, but there is a reason to be a little hopeful for both of them.
All right, we'll hit that coming after the break here on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Weather forecast.
You know, the list that we've been talking about for an hour.
Afternoons. It's really not today. I think later in the week and toward the weekend, we might start seeing some pretty high totals of rain coming in, and we may be looking at a little chance of some flooding. I know that's been on everybody's mind. A few showers, thunderstorms, 90 this afternoon to feel a little bit hotter. Any showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers, storms tomorrow, 88. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stager.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. There's more to Taco Bell's Luxe Cravings boxes than you'd expect. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, then you're spot on. Choose yours today, only at Taco Bell. For a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips.
I'll be right back.
We thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spice topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
For millions of kids, school isn't just a place of learning. It's where they can depend on access to healthy food. When school's out for the summer months, many of those meals disappear. But there is a solution. All across the country, there are programs for kids and teens to access free meals all summer long, including resources for eligible families facing tight grocery budgets. If you're looking for resources to help feed your family this summer, visit nokidhungry.org/help. Let's make sure every kid has the happy, healthy summer they deserve.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo! From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment. Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is coming to you live on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. And you can see us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. You can join the House of Reprehensibles, super chat us throughout the program as well. We're in the midst of a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy, talking head coaches for the 2025 NFL season, which is, just a stone's throw away. We're a couple of weeks away from training camps and such kicking off. The preseason will begin in under a month. And before you know it, the Ingalls Living the Dream Tour rides again.
It's going to be outrageous. If it doesn't kill me first. It may kill me first. I just weighed myself in the break. I'm not going to lie to you. How much weight do you think I gained in 10 days at the beach?
I will go 13 pounds.
4. And I don't know how that's even possible.
That's it?
I don't know how that's even possible. I think somehow I did keto for a month and I became Superman.
Did you go swimming while you were at the beach?
A lot, yes.
You picked up that Portuguese ringworm. That's what that is. It went
that
right up your
what?
too, and yep. You got that tapeworm in you. That's the thing that's causing that. You should have gained at least 14 pounds.
No doubt.
At the beach.
No doubt. I'm not gonna lie. I got on the scale and went, is my scale broken? I pulled it out on the floor. Like, nope, that can't possibly be right. I did it 3 times.
Yep.
Nope, I have to weigh 320 pounds right now. There's no way I don't. But
well, good for you. That's hey, you're a step ahead of the game then.
Yeah, it just means I have like another week to eat like a garbage panda. So
no, you got to take the advantage while you have it.
Oh, dude, Amy's going out of town. She's going to see some family tonight. Oh, Little Caesars, here we come.
Jeez, you just did that last night, didn't you?
But no, I had wings last night. No, I eat nothing but seafood while I'm at the beach, so I come back and I'm like, okay, now we got to hit the unholy trinity. We got to hit wings, we got to hit pizza, we got to hit a cheeseburger, and I got to get some Bears barbecue. And that's It's what I'm doing because I haven't had American food in, well, I mean, I guess it is American food. It's seafood.
And go get you one of them hook and ladders from Firehouse as well.
Oh, I love Firehouse subs. Firehouse subs.
Love a hook and ladder sub. Anyhow.
I do want to try a diet where I eat nothing but sandwiches and see if I can lose weight.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that works. I mean, I know that there was a popular ad campaign that said it did, but
oh yeah, you just had to read
that's only if you walked the 10 miles to the store and back.
Well, you also had to read the fine print, which was it was at Subway, which means the whole thing tasted like particle board anyway. B, you could only eat a 6-inch sub. It could have no mayonnaise and nothing but vegetables. Hey, you know what you got for flavor? You can just get you a little dollop of light mayonnaise.
Precisely.
Or not.
I always loved that was the part of the Subway diet that everybody left out of that, was that you remember the original commercials of that was Jared walking to the damn store. You couldn't just wheel your fat tail in there and get you a foot-long sub every day and think you're going to lose weight.
And yet, that's how advertising worked in the 90s. Hey, that weird dude came in here and ate sandwiches and he got skinny. Give me 4 meatballs. I'm on a diet. And a Diet Coke.
I'm eating healthy at Subway.
I did realize that I've officially become one of those people I make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Fatassery special with a Coke Zero. I like Coke Zero better. I like the Zero version better.
I do too. The fully loaded sodas are too sweet. They're too sweet now.
I had a full Mountain Dew the other day, and I honest to God thought I was going to I thought I was going to have an infarction of some kind.
Diabetes. Immediate.
I was like, me and Wilford Brimley, we're going to be at the meetings together talking about our beatus.
That's a different kind of meeting, and you were probably going there with Jared. All right. Number 26 on our 2025 NFL head coach power rankings here in the Sportsocracy.
That was top 3 funniest things you've ever said. Like, straight up. That should have been on the wow. I don't remember what we're doing now. What are we talking? Oh, we're talking about bad head coaches. Kevin Stefanski is 25. Mike McDaniel is 24.
Okay.
I have to lump these two together, and I'm going to tell you why. And we have a super chat, and I had to hold this for like an hour. So God bless Soaring Eagle for being patient before I got to this, but it steers into why I'm saying this. Soaring Eagle said Chris Greer looked at the fan base and said, hey, we may have no secondary, but now we got Darren Waller. Woohoo! I think that's the problem with Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDaniel both. They got here based on their scheme, and now they can't do anything else. They have no second swing. This is like the old Mo Vaughn theory. He had 2 speeds. Home run and strikeout. He played for 14 teams after you. You got him for an hour, and you wound up with David Ortiz afterwards. I think you're fine. For the 50th time, I know baseball does not mean I like it.
Mo was awesome. You stop.
Mo weighed 400 pounds and could literally do 2 things. 400-foot home runs or slowly saunter back to the dugout while you were afraid that the infarction was going to happen between the batter's box and the dugout.
Yes.
I don't think there's a lot. I think they're both really bright guys that have outsmarted themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think they're both guys that are probably best suited as coordinators. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with making your living as being a really good coordinator. But every year I felt like Mike McDaniel becomes a bigger and bigger joke, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's because he keeps rising in whatever cartel he's currently slinging for.
Yes, that and the floodwaters keep getting higher because his pants keep crawling up there. I mean, just switch to jorts, bro, and you'll be good to go.
Oh no, he would never go. He would never go jorts. That's a pleated khaki if it's anything.
It's a cargo short, maybe. Is that more Miami?
I do think they're both good coaches. I don't think either one's a good head coach.
They both worn out, though. So which one was 24 and which one was 25?
Stefanski was 25, Mike McDaniel's 24.
Okay.
You fell so in love with your scheme that you're not really looking at what you have anymore. You're just steering into this thing that we've already proven doesn't work.
Number 23.
And here's the irony. I think we've got another one here at 23. Shane Steichen of the Indianapolis Colts. You remember that thing I just said about the previous two? Shane Steichen's getting ready to be their third little brother. Because Shane Steichen was really successful for a year with a big mobile quarterback that had some arm issues. Mm-hmm. He also had a defensive coordinator on the other side that you're not going to hear for several spots because I think he's a way better coach. And now Shane Steichen is going to die on this hill of I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to have a mobile quarterback that is multiple. The only problem is that you got one that's not any good. And now you're doubling down with a second one that's not any good. So you're going Daniel Jones, you're going Anthony Richardson. And the more I watch and listen to Shane Steichen, the more I honestly think he believes that he can win this way. I think he really believes he can win with Daniel Jones and with Anthony Richardson, and you just can't. 25 years ago when everybody said, well, Tampa Bay won one with Brad Johnson and Baltimore won one with Trent Dilfer. That was two of the best defenses of all time. That's what everybody leaves out of that scenario. Oh, Jalen Hurts just won with Philadelphia with a defense that was historic the last 8 weeks of the year and the best running game in the NFL. That's the part that everybody leaves out. So the reason I get so angry at that conversation is you don't put any of the context with it. Shane Steichen has what I think to be a good running back. I think he has a talented defense. Neither one's special. And your quarterback is a joke. I'm tired of being nice about this. The fact that Anthony Richardson's still in the NFL is borderline moronic. The fact you took him at 4 was moronic. And we said it when you did it.
Yep.
But you fell so in love with your scheme, and I can get it out of him because he's this athletic freak of nature, and I can make him a quarterback. No, you can't. No, you can't. No one can because he's not.
But is that because Shane Steichen's not a good coach, or is that because he's just not been in a good situation?
I think Shane Steichen put himself – well, first of all, Shane Steichen put himself in this situation. You did this to you, so sorry, you're not getting blip points because of something you did to yourself. My problem with Steichen is that he's showing to be very rigid, the same way McDaniel and the same way Stefanski are. I win on my scheme. Okay. The greats contour their scheme to their players. You're trying to contour your players to your scheme. And I hate to break it to you. Your scheme's not that good. There's really nothing special about it.
All right, at number 22.
Raheem Morris. Now, you talk about going hard right turn here to Raheem Morris because I don't feel that way about him. I think Raheem Morris is incredibly bright. I think he is. He may be one of the 5 smartest guys in the NFL. Worked on the offensive side, worked on the defensive side. I think he really understands football and he really understands people. This year is going to teach me if he can figure out how to be a head coach. Tank, when he was the head coach of your team, what was your biggest knock on Raheem Morris?
I mean, does it have to be something other than the fact that we weren't good?
Well, I mean, what was it you didn't like about him specifically?
He was just another in a line of coaches who I didn't feel like had much control or any identity as a head coach. I mean, I felt the same way about Greg Schiano. Like, I mean, I guess Schiano had an identity, but it wasn't a good one, right? Remember, he had that whole what was his thing? The whole keep chopping thing from Rutgers. Was that his thing?
He had some Johnny Rah-Rah college nonsense like that.
Yeah.
I've got all gas, no brake lodged in my brain from the 4 years Robert Saleh tried to cram it down my cram hole.
Is the exact same thing. It's that same kind of just, we're out here chopping wood and we're going to get... There's no... He just doesn't feel like a professional head coach. Right? And now he's gone on and he's been a coordinator and he's built up more experience and all of that, and they're giving him another shot. But I honestly I haven't seen anything with him as with the Atlanta Falcons that makes me think, yeah, he's changed a lot.
So your answer to that was what I thought it would be. You just said it in a little bit more long-winded of a way than I'm going to say it.
Okay.
What's Raheem Morris good at? What's his claim to fame?
Apparently. Defense.
Is it? Is it really, though? Because if you look at his history in the NFL, if you look at his history in the NFL, whether it was as a head coach or a defensive coordinator, he's never had great defenses. They've always been middle of the road. The offenses have almost always been middle of the road. I don't think he has a home run swing. And that's my problem. Even mediocre coaches, you're good at what got you here. Raheem Morris is not really good at what got him here. And before you tell me, but look at the players he had, I'm going to say the same thing back to you. Look at the players he had, and he couldn't make it work. I think he's a great guy. I think he is a really smart football man. I don't think he's special at anything. And that's the problem. If you look at his career, he's one of the only coaches I've ever seen that coached defensive backs, secondary, bounced around doing that, and then he was a wide receivers coach for 4 years. And once I met him, it made so much more sense to me. Of you meet him, you talk to him, you go, this dude is so smart that he has to be a great football man. I'm not sure he is. I think he's a great man. I'm not sure he's a great football man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point I'm getting to with him, is that you've been doing this for 20 some odd years. He's been working in the NFL for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tangibly point to anything he's ever done and go, that's what makes me feel great about him as a head coach, or great about him as a defensive coordinator, or great about him even as a secondary coach. Mm-hmm. I can't point to it. I don't have it.
It's very Brian Schottenheimer-y.
No. I see. I said Raheem Morris was smart. That's where him and Brian Schottenheimer go.
Oh yeah, I mean I get that, but the career trajectory is pretty striking. Pretty striking.
Schottenheimer has never really gotten the opportunities because you get him in a room and you just go, you ain't got it.
Right.
Raheem Morris, you get him in a room and go, you got it, but why can't you get it out of anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a great leader too. That's the thing that I think bothers me the most, is that at some point, he is the I want to run through a wall for you guy. but nobody else seems to want to.
Yeah.
They love him to death, but they don't play hard for him.
Yeah. All right, let's go number 21.
21 is where I have Ben Johnson. If there was ever a can't-miss coordinator to become a head coach, it's Ben Johnson.
Jeremy doesn't like saying can't miss.
I don't. He's the Andrew Luck of NFL head coaches. The only miss is if somebody breaks you. The problem is that he went to a franchise that I think may break him.
Well, it's broken every other offensive genius that's ever tried to touch it.
Well, in fairness, there haven't been a lot of those.
There have not been a lot of them. Mark Trestman, I think, was.
He was the last one.
That's not great.
The Bears and the Jets, man, they really don't like hiring offensive guys. Oh, I forgot about Matt Nagy. And Bears fans, I'm sure you wish you could too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that didn't go well either. Broke him, sent him back to the coordinator ranks.
I hope for Ben's sake that this works out. I think they hired the best coach in the cycle by a mile.
Mm-hmm. New coach.
I'm curious.
The best new coach.
Oh, you're going. Pete Carroll wasn't taking it.
The two that got rehired. So
Pete Carroll wasn't taking anybody else's job, and Mike Vrabel only wanted one. So I think Ben Johnson is a great offensive mind, and I put him here almost in a. I'm going to split the difference. So we had the Steichen, McDaniel, Stefanski group of they think their scheme is the end-all, be-all, and we just get me my players and we'll win. Yep. There are a couple other guys, Kevin O'Connell and Jonathan Gannon, that I think were really smart football guys. They're figuring out how to be head coaches, and they're climbing this list as years go on. Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson, I put equidistant between the five of them. The other two were a few spots ahead of this. The other three were a few spots behind this.
No.
Because I don't know which one Ben's going to be. I know what he is as a guy. I know what he is as a person. But there have been a lot of great people. Maybe you see why Raheem Morris was right behind him. Mm-hmm. That didn't become great head coaches. I think Ben will. But as I said, I can't put a first-time head coach any higher than this.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll get into the top 20 when we come back on a Power Rankings Tuesday.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
You're clear.
To check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is no small matter.
Big things are happening.
It is a big deal what is going on.
These are big events.
Some might even say huge.
This is huge news.
And to keep up
with what's happening in the Middle East. This is not World War III.
You'll need massive amounts of information.
Massive. On the anti-ICE riots.
On trade deals and tariffs.
On the one big beautiful bill.
Check in for the latest on every big story.
There's no bigger story right now.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Your next summer preset now.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
Once you're $1,000 richer after you win bonus bucks, you'll have to decide on whether you'll tell everybody or keep it to yourself. The winning happens every weekday, right here.
Win $1,000 on ESPN Asheville. Is your truck wimpy, trailer barely hanging on, shed crumbling? Leonard Truck Outfitters, the largest truck outfitters in the Southeast, supercharges your gear. Rugged bedliners, hardcore truck accessories, top quality trailers, and sheds built to last. With over 100 locations and years of experience, visit LeonardUSA.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville. It is the Sportsocracy on 92.9 FM. Welcome back into the program. Just a programming note. Braves baseball returns tonight on ESPN Asheville. It will be, they're out on the West Coast. They're playing in Sacramento against that AAA team. So they may actually be able to win one of these over the next few days. Hoping to go into the All-Star break on a little heater. Just another programming note. So tonight, game starts at 9:50 pregame, first pitch at 10:05 here on the Braves Radio Network, and then we will have the coverage of the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby next week. So a week from today will be the All-Star game on ESPN Asheville. Our very own Cal Raleigh, Smoky Mountain Mustangs, will be the starting catcher for the American League. He'll also be participating in the Home Run Derby, so we will give you the coverage of that next Monday night as well. We'll talk some more baseball coming up tomorrow on a Womack Wednesday. Chris Womack, sports director of News 13, will be joining me in the studio here as Jeremy gets a much-needed day off to recuperate from his, vacation.
I actually do not have the day off tomorrow. I will be working in another market tomorrow.
Oh, interesting.
We're working on some things to get you even more content talking about all of the things that you like than just us.
Aha. Yes, indeed.
I know how people hear that. So yes, I will steer into so we can be a little bit lazier. No, we have some very talented friends that are going to be joining us for things in the upcoming season, and we have to get them all acclimated and make sure that it works with our computer systems and ours work with theirs. And so I'm going to be under a desk plugging stuff in and unplugging it. At least that's what Tank thinks I do. So
right. We'll also Chris and I will begin our college football conference previews tomorrow.
Oh, let's go. Which one are you starting with?
Starting with the Big Ten, I believe.
Oh, starting high.
Yeah, we're starting high. Starting high with the Big Ten.
Are you going to sandwich the good ones with the with the mediocrity?
Of course we are.
There it is.
You give them a little, give them some meat right away, then there's a little lull in the action, and then hit them with the climax.
You told me you didn't read that dating book I wrote. You liar.
Good for you. Good for you. Walking you right down the path. Love it when plan comes together. At number 20 on today's Power Rankings Tuesday, NFL head coaches. Number 20 is who?
Mike McDonald.
Okay.
My 19 and 20. Actually, that's a lie. My 18, 19, and 20. This is kind of a tier also. And I'm going to call this the I do really believe in you, but this is the year you show it to me.
Okay. At 19?
Dave Canales.
And 18.
Jonathan Gannon. I like all three of these guys a lot. For completely different reasons, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mike McDonald is he's not as electric to talk to, but he is really X's and O's bright. And I like that roster in Seattle. I'm much higher on Seattle right now than I was a year ago. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I certainly do.
I don't know about I don't know about way higher. I mean, because I like that team for the most part, other than Geno last year, and then you replaced him with Sam Darnold, and now yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess there is a little bit of a more like for that team, but I see all the possibilities here with Mike McDonald. I think he's a hell of a defensive coach, and they're going to win a lot of games just because of that.
All right, and maybe that's why I have such a belief in him. If you believe in the defense and the talent they have on the defense and him as a defensive coach, which I do, it's hard for me to look at the offense and not like it. Because I can't figure out what hole you're trying to poke in it. I like the weapons. I think the line is vastly improved. I love the fact they added Gray Zabel, who, by the way, and I don't know why this is so hard for people to figure out, but it has served to be. Why did they not take a right tackle in the draft? Because if Abraham Lucas gets hurt again, guess who's going to right tackle? Gray Zabel.
Mm-hmm.
I can figure out guard. Zabel's a better guard than he is tackle, but it's not by much. I don't really have reservations about Seattle. What's their floor to you? As they're constituted with this coaching staff, with this personnel, what is their floor to you?
Their floor, if completely healthy, I would say 9-8 would be their floor. I'd be shocked if they turned in a losing season with this team.
I agree with you. And that puts you kind of in that Mike Tomlin tier of it's still early. I can't really have any of these three any higher. We have a super chat that we'll get to in just a minute that steers into that. McDonald is the one of this tier that I believe in the least. Now, it's probably the roster that I believe in the second most. Mm-hmm. Dave Canales, I believe in a lot as a guy, as a leader, as a head coach, which is a lot of what that is. I'm not sure that the roster's not still a year away, and you're just in year 2. You know, I said earlier that I'm never going to have a first-time head coach in the top 20. I'm not going to have many second-year head coaches in the top 15. That's going to be very, very, very rare. Mm-hmm. Canales, I think, has more up in the air. I think his high side is higher than McDonald's. I think his floor is much lower. Do you agree with anything, or do you disagree with anything I just said?
I do not disagree.
All right, so that gets us into Jonathan Gannon, and we have a super chat about old JG, my JG brother himself. This one's from Red Sea, who said, JG's too low. Our problems aren't really his doing. It's either Kyler or Petzing. By midseason, we'll figure out which. Gannon and Monty have given us hope. I agree with everything you just said. The problem is I can't have him any higher. Because for you to be higher, you have to be ahead of somebody that has been doing this for a really long time, that has had some pretty good results. Gannon's in year 2. This is not a power ranking of who do I think 10 years from now is going to be the best head coach. This is a power ranking for 2025. Because I'm going to level with you, if it was a power ranking for the next 10 years, the next coach would have been at 31.
And at number 17?
I'll guarantee you, without me even telling you who this is, you already know who it is.
Todd Bowles.
That's the one. That's the one. Do I like Todd Bowles better as a coach than Jonathan Gannon? Nope.
No.
Do I think right now Todd Bowles has a better feel of who he is as a head coach than Jonathan Gannon does? Yeah, I do, because he's been doing it for a long time. I don't think he's a great head coach by any stretch of the imagination. He's another one of those coaches. You don't do what got you here very well. How many times have you complained to me about that defense over the last handful of years?
Oh, a bunch. I hate the bend, don't break offense or defense.
I detest it. Detest it. The thing with Todd Bowles, though, is in the last 5 years, since he's been in Tampa, 3 of them as head coach, 2 of them as defense coordinator, they finished in the top 8 of points allowed 3 times. I don't think he's a great defensive coach. I don't think he's a great head coach. But he seems to be getting better every year. And he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, he's not great. I do think it's odd that we did our separate rankings here. And I just want to state for the record that I have Todd Bowles 1 spot lower than Jeremy on my head coach rankings.
Funny, ain't
it? I have him at 18. But that's basically just because I looked at the list and went, who would I rather have as my head coach right now over Todd Bowles? And I can't look at any of the young guys and go, absolutely, I would take that. Because like it or not, as a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm kind of in Mike Tomlin territory right now.
That's really what this is to me.
Right, like I don't know. I rail on it, and I hate some of the defensive scheme that he throws out there. I don't like the play calling. I don't like the fact that he's emotionless on the sidelines in big moments. I don't like the fact that he screws up timeouts and leaves players on the field too long so he gets them hurt and all that kind of thing. Like, he irritates me week in and week out. But there's 3 division titles here that say, I mean, at least he's better than what I've had in the past.
Oh, and by the way, I boo-booed this. Jonathan Gannon's in year 3. That first year was kind of a Kellen Moore blip year, so mentally it's not in my head. But you are right. He has been there 3 years.
He's been there 3 years, or this is his
This
third
is his 3rd year.
Okay. Right.
That was my bad. I just a bookkeeping error.
Todd Bowles is nothing special, but again, he's kind of been winning, so it's hard to say no to. Number 16.
For me, this is where it gets weird. Because it's hard for me to differentiate some of these guys. The next one is Kevin O'Connell.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, and I'm glad you did that. We didn't set that up.
That's interesting.
All right, so you say that. It's interesting. Oh, that feels so low for Kevin O'Connell. Okay. You have the list in front of you. Who in the world am I supposed to have him in front of? I saw him on a list earlier this morning at 6.
Mm-hmm.
you're kidding me, right? And I like O'Connell.
And he's won a lot of games, and he's growing every year, it appears. This does seem a little bit low for him.
All right. You never answered the question that I asked.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I supposed to have him in front of?
That I can't answer.
And there's the problem.
There's
the problem.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to quantify that.
He's had 2 great years, and then you come back to that middle year and go, why did he all of a sudden become so not smart in the middle of that? Well, but injuries and but. Okay, I'm not disputing anything that you said there. There were some injury issues with that team. That was one of the worst coach teams in the NFL. Do you remember? They had a game, and I can't remember who they were playing against. It was a Sunday night game because Cousins had already gotten hurt. Dobbs had not gotten there yet. Nick Mullins comes in, and I, honest to God, remember looking at my wife going, the other team could go home. Minnesota would not score 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were so completely lost. I don't know what to do with Kevin O'Connell. His high side's really high. And I know that. The problem is that I look at O'Connell and go, what do I know that he is? I know that he got a good year out of Kirk Cousins in year 1. I know that he got a really great year out of Sam Darnold last year. I don't think you can just lather up any quarterback and work with him. By the way, I really think highly of Kirk Cousins, and I really think highly of Sam Darnold. That doesn't mean squat to Kevin O'Connell for me. Now, could O'Connell be there in a year? If we're talking about J.J. McCarthy and this team goes 11-6, okay, now we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
You took 2 veteran quarterbacks, won a lot of games, and didn't do squat in the playoffs. I'm sorry I'm not putting that ahead of Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I'm not putting that ahead of DeMeco Ryans, who took over the biggest dumpster fire in the NFL.
Right. You know why he ends up so high on these lists, right?
Because people don't believe in Sam Darnold, and they think he got it out of him.
Precisely. But you can't really refute. He's the only one that's done it. He's the only one that's gotten it out of him. And so, is that Kevin O'Connell, or is that Sam Darnold being in the best situation that he was ever in with the players that were around him?
See, and that's where I fall in on this. Of Sam Darnold was in Minnesota for an hour. And now he's going to go to Seattle and be really good, and people are still going to go, look what Kevin O'Connell got out of him. Or maybe it was there the whole time. You know, my number 1 quarterback in that class, when he came out, almost universally the number 1 quarterback in that class. So, yeah, let's give that to the guy he was with for 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was just a good quarterback that went to a good offensive system. I'm not trying to diminish Kevin O'Connell. I'm just looking at the other 15 coaches on this list going, I can literally give you 1 sentence of why I didn't even consider having him in front of them. But look how many games he's won. Look how many playoff games he's won.
Mm-hmm. Kevin O'Connell comes in at number 16.
Yes.
Right? 16. All right, we'll stop halfway, take a break. We'll be right back here on the Power Rankings Tuesday in the Sportsocracy.
ESPN
Clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Showers, thunderstorms scattered around the next few afternoons. It's really not today. I think later in the week and toward the weekend, we might start seeing some pretty high totals of rain coming in. And Maybe looking at a little chance of some flooding. I know that's been on everybody's mind. A few showers, thunderstorms, 90 this afternoon to feel a little bit hotter. Any showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers, storms tomorrow, 88. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by
Bojangles. It's always bow time.
Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich and small Fuego fries inspired by Takis Fuego chips with a 1-ounce Takis Fuego bag and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Dick's Deal Days are happening now. You won't want to miss our biggest sale of the summer. Scorecard members earn a $20 bonus reward on your purchase of $150 or more. Plus 3 days of amazing savings start Tuesday. Check out offers from brands like Nike, Adidas, Hoka, and Stanley. And check back daily for new one-day deals Tuesday through Thursday. Score the season's hottest savings before they're gone on July 10th. Shop in the app and on Dix.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Now is the time for Braves country to cheer a little louder as the 2025 Atlanta Braves start chopping their way back.
Fly ball to deep right, way back and gone! Home run, Ozuna! Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The mountain's home for the Braves. Asheville's #1 sports station. ESPN Asheville.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has 2 things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, we are back at the Sportsocracy, and it is ESPN Asheville. Time to get weird. And, Jeremy, have you ever hit an animal with your car?
No comment.
No comment. Oh, wow. That sounds nefarious. That makes me want to ask more questions.
I've never hit a vagrant.
What animal did you hit with your car and you didn't want to tell your girlfriend at the time that you hit her dog?
Well, I've never hit a vagrant, but, I've driven some large vehicles in my life, so there's been some little bunny foo-foos that are no longer hopping through the forest.
Well, little ones. Like big ones. You ever hit like a deer?
Knock on wood, no.
No, I've never done that either. I've never hit a bear either, but I'm pretty sure if I hit a bear with my car, the chances of me getting out to render it medical aid are nil, 0. Not going to happen. A 59-year-old Salyer, California man has been hospitalized After Sunday at around 11 a.m., he hit a 400-pound male bear with his car. Then, feeling bad about the incident, he got out of the car to check on the wellness of the bear. The bear was still alive, yet severely injured, and the bear started to climb over the guardrail to get back to its natural habitat into the woods. Seeing the bear struggling, the man decided he would help. So he went over to try to help the bear get over the guardrail. Would you like to guess what happened to the man?
He got eaten. He
touched the bear. He was part of him was a snack. That is in fact true. Once he touched the bear, who he had mortally wounded with his vehicle, the bear then bit him several times on the forearm. No kidding. I don't feel like warnings should be going out any longer. Mark Starling told a story on First News on 570 this morning of a guy in like Pakistan or something that actually did get mauled to death by a bear that he was trying to take selfies with on the side of the road. I don't feel like we should warn people anymore about this. Just let it take its course. If you're going to be as stupid as to mess with man-eating wildlife, then maybe you deserve the consequences.
I'm not a fan of warning labels. I think many of the things that you are warned about, if you have to be warned about them, I believe nature will take its course in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you needed to be told not to eat, if you were one of those people that needed to be told not to eat Tide Pods, I don't think there's a lot of help for you.
Yeah. I get feeling bad for the bear, but hello, you just about killed it. Of course it's going to feel like you're not trying to help. Just dumb.
I also noticed you said at one point that if you hit a bear with your car, if you hit a bear with your car, it wouldn't matter because the bear would eat your car.
Probably so.
Tank, I have exciting news.
Oh, okay.
I don't get to tell these stories very often, although I would like to. I consider myself to be a fast food connoisseur. Mm-hmm. I am, as you say, the Gordon Ramsay of fast food delicacies.
Okay.
If you don't believe me, Tank, how many things have I told you about fast food where I went, hey, you should eat that with that, and you've gone, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because I have a PhD in fatasserie, and Mickey D's has made me very happy. Best fast food breakfast goes to who?
Bojangles.
Bojangles is real good. By the way, if you haven't had the Burrito, you need to get your keister over there and do that right now. Because it's ridiculous. It's covered in sausage gravy. It's so good. McDonald's, to me, is in that meaty clackers of breakfast fast food places. I'm never mad at it. Mm-hmm. But they've never had like a signature thing that was awesome.
Okay.
They do now.
What is that?
The spicy McMuffin. The McMuffin is my go-to. Actually, that's not true. The McMuffin is my when they are out of McGriddles go-to. At the McDonald's.
Okay.
The spicy McMuffin will be all of the deliciousness you already know and love with a new spicy pepper sauce. And now me being the biggin that I am, I immediately went, so let me see if I understand this. You're telling me you now have the spicy pepper sauce. Which means if I asked you to, you could slather said spicy pepper sauce on the McGriddle with the sausage and the egg and the cheese. And now we've got a spicy McGriddle.
Ew.
That look on your face just shows me that my palate is much more refined than yours. A spicy McGriddle sounds just divine.
No, sir. It sounds disgusting. You're
Sweet and spicy.
Put hot sauce on a pancake.
Sweet and spicy. Sweet and spicy. Of course I am.
What?
You're one of those
spicy sauce?
You're one of those weird people that eats Frosties with French fries.
Yeah, what person doesn't?
Me.
Broken.
First of all, ice cream is gross. Frosty's great by itself, but ice cream is gross.
Oh my God. This is why we can't agree. This is why we can't agree on anything.
The McGriddle is so good. And now you have a sauce that I can put on it, which was always my problem because I don't love maple syrup. It's already in there, but I can't put more on it because then it's too sweet. I need something to combat the sweet, and heat is what you use to combat heat.
No. What's in the pepper sauce? That's what I want to
Don't care. Peppers. Peppers of some kind, which means it's spicy.
Like if it's a pepper like aioli, you're going to put that on your pancake.
Do it right now.
Ugh.
Right now. Do it now.
Gross. No.
Austin Groves in our YouTube chat said hot honey. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Put it on the McGriddles. Can I ask a question? Who is selling this hot honey? Because that dude's had the best quarter ever. Like, I mean, he has sold his hot honey to every single fast food establishment on the planet. I don't like honey. Just throwing it out there. I don't mind hot honey, especially on chicken. But I do. I feel like the guy that used to sell cranberries, that dude left and started working for hot honey. You remember that summer where you had cran everything? It's like cran apple, cran grape, cran maple syrup, cran bacon cheeseburger. That dude left there and went, screw the fruits. I'm selling hot honey now. Because it's everywhere.
Because it's good.
I'm waiting for somebody to start a hot honey OnlyFans because I know it's coming.
I don't think so.
Oh, you're broken. Sweet heat, baby. Sweet heat.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Yeah, I'm with Matt. Ice cream is gross, said no one ever.
Ice cream's just...
Or only broken souls.
Get a good cookie, have the milk with it, then you get all the same thing, and you don't go from hot to cold and make your teeth completely lost as to where you are. I love cookies and cakes, and ice cream just doesn't do it for me.
Okay. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
ESPN.
And we're clear.
Really? No spicy sauce on a McGriddle.
Showers, thunderstorms.
Maple syrup. No.
The maple syrup's in it, though. It's not like you're... First of all, if you've never had... one of these trips, I'm going to show you... I'm going to show you the beauty
Few showers,
that is
thunderstorms,
sweet
90s
heat.
This afternoon, it'll feel a little bit hotter. 80 showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers, storms tomorrow, 88. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal. Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken
by the way, that
sandwich and small
burrito
Fuego
comes
fries
with
inspired by Takis
hot
Fuego
sauce.
chips with a 1-ounce Takis
It'll change
Fuego
your
bag
life.
and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
Once you're $1,000 richer after you win bonus
Now, that
bucks,
Wendy's
you'll have
Taki
to
thing,
decide on
you
whether
can
you'll
keep
tell
that. That's
everybody
gross.
Or keep it to yourself. The winning happens every
Wait, what?
year.
Win $1,000 on ESPN
Wendy's did a
Asheville.
Taki
Is your truck
combo?
wimpy, trailer barely hanging on, shed crumbling? Leonard
Nah.
Truck Outfitters, the largest truck outfitters in the Southeast, supercharges your gear.
I don't love
Bed
Takis,
liners,
though.
Hardcore truck accessories, top quality trailers, and sheds built to last. With over 100 locations and years of experience, visit LeonardUSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors
Oh, Taco
to
Bell got
harnesses
rid of
to
their chicken
hardware,
nuggets?
plus fast, dependable
makes me sad.
delivery. So he can rise to every challenge.
Taco Bell
Call
chicken
Woody-
nuggets were pretty
Yeah, because
solid.
nobody went, I want to go to Taco Bell for chicken nuggets.
I got their chicken nuggets with like everything I got from there. I will say this though: the Cantina chicken taco with the purple cabbage slaw.
And nutrition.
Woo, that's a treat. It's hard to beat.
From 12
Uh-huh.
Regional Health and Fitness Center in the second floor classroom. Outpatient nutritionist Catherine Darcillo, registered dietitian and LDN, will share practical tips on how food choices can help manage or prevent
The
diabetes.
chicken nugget at Taco
Reserve
Bell,
your
people
spot.
looked at that
Call
wrong.
770
You don't go to Taco Bell for the chicken nugget.
7291.
You needed something
Graphics and Showtime
that you could
Sports
eat
have
in the
teamed
car
up
on the way to
very
go
new
eat your
local
Taco
owners to
Bell.
serve our
That was
community
what the
with
chicken nugget
finest
did.
Custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can custom
You're going to die a very early age.
made
Probably.
with high quality screen and laser.
Or I'm going to be built different. I'm going to be like that councilman in Tybee Island, 74 years old, still just pounding beer.
MTN Graphics, AVL.com, or Showtime Sports, AVL.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team.
Matt said the Bowberry biscuit.
Give us a call,
yeah.
828-774-6343.
The Bowberry
We're
biscuit's
here for
just,
what matters
it's a
most,
dirty,
you.
dirty girl.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple of beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard
Bowberry
somebody
McGriddle.
trees removed and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors.
That would be
our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
We are full.
Can you put a pancake inside my sweet biscuit?
Yeah.
Parts, we live.
That sounds. Never mind.
Anyway, we're good at what we do. And we
That sounded like a porn directed by Tank Spencer. Is what that sounded like.
316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Tank's new.
Covered up with storm damage and
Tank's new feature film.
316
BBW lesbians.
316
Pancake and biscuit.
And with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
From the Ingles Studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, green. That's green. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingles Studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
Whew. Welcome into the program. It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
In this hour, we will be unveiling Tank's new hit single, "Baby I'll Butter Your Bread." A love song that will be sweeping the nation.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. 1 hour of the program left to go. This is the moment of the program where we highly encourage you, if you're not in on the YouTube stream each and every day, it can be an adventure. So
You just never know what you're gonna get. And today we got pancake biscuits or whatever you just said that elicited
Pancake
me to make a
biscuit,
noise.
they're a dynamic duo.
Huge. They're both huge, but Tank loves it.
Just wait. Just wait. They're going to come busting onto the scene.
Oh.
In no time.
And there he took it too, and now he took it too far. That's oh no. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, the Power Rankings Tuesday this week, focusing on the head coaches in the NFL for 2025. We left off with Kevin O'Connell being at number 16. Just mediocre, run-of-the-mill, old Kevin O'Connell. 2 great seasons, 1 down season. We'll see if he can build on the success he had with Sam Darnold last year.
I'm legitimately looking at my top 15 going, I cannot wait to hear somebody tell me why Kevin O'Connell should be ahead of one of these 15.
Number 15.
D'Amico Ryans. Now,
Well,
before you give me the O'Connell,
has won more games than he has.
Awesome. He also took over a franchise that wasn't the biggest laughing stock in the NFL. D'Amico Ryans did, and has taken them to the playoffs twice. If I had told you 3 years ago that D'Amico Ryans, who we loved, by the way, we both loved that hire. We just thought he was doomed to fail.
Yes.
If I had told you when he got that job, and I'm trying to find the date. If I had told you on that day that we would be sitting here 2 years later and he would be 6 games over 500 with 2 playoff wins, I think you would have asked me if I was smoking methamphetamine.
Well, I would have asked you, is C.J. Stroud as good as they thought he was? Because that was the only way that was going to happen. And it did.
And I'll level with you, I wouldn't have cared. Do you remember the Lovie Smith team?
Oh, yeah.
The team that started Davis Mills and had Rex Burkhead playing running back, and it was Brandon Cooks and Amari Rodgers and O.J. Howard and Jordan Akins. Yeah, that was this team 2 years ago. Two years ago. D'Amico Ryans has taken that roster to the playoffs 2 years in a row. And won a game, which is insanity to me.
Now they have wildly upgraded that roster in 2 years.
Sure, with a bunch of young guys. And yes, they have wildly upgraded that roster. But D'Amico Ryans has gotten a lot out of a lot of dudes. There are a lot of Blake Cashmans that were on that roster that you went, that dude doesn't deserve to be in the NFL, and then all of a sudden he got paid somewhere else. Jonathan Grenard, probably the best player on that team, left the next year. He has not had a whole lot of advantages, and he's had some terrible injury luck. D'Amico Ryans, I'll be honest with you, I think he should be higher, but I run into the same problem with D'Amico that I run into with Kevin O'Connell. Who am I supposed to have him in front of?
That's where I fell with D'Amico. I couldn't really find many of the established guys that I could put him over just yet. Doesn't mean that he won't get there, but just yet.
So we're to the established guys for you?
Yep.
Okay. Me too. We did not pre-plan this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Who's your 14?
Mike Tomlin.
You don't listen so hot. But yes, that is mine as well. We were supposed to do that all at one time, but Mike Tomlin's mine too. Of all the established coaches, I trust Mike Tomlin the least.
Okay.
Because I don't think he has any high side. There is zero high side to Mike Tomlin to me.
All right. And then who's after that?
Matt LaFleur. I don't think there's a ton of high side with him. But he's so much younger that I feel like the book hasn't been completely written on him yet. I just think he's in a very tough place to win.
Okay, and who's the third?
The third in this list, Sean McDermott.
Yeah. So McDermott's your 12.
Yes. I think all three of those are fine coaches that are propped up by the fact they're in really stable, well-run organizations. And I'm going to level with you, and this is where I got to with all three of them. If you rearranged the teams they were on, does anything change?
No.
I agree with you.
No.
If McDermott went to Pittsburgh, Tomlin went to Green Bay, and LaFleur went to Buffalo, I don't tangibly think any one thing would change.
No, because I don't believe that anybody else could get Pittsburgh to the playoffs like they've been. Which I do feel like speaks to Mike Tomlin. But I just wish his team was better. All right, how about number 11?
11 is one that I feel like I'm going to get a lot of flack for, so I'm going to ask you who is your 11, and then I'll tell you mine.
My 11 was Pete Carroll.
Wow, I have Pete Carroll considerably higher than that.
Okay.
My 11's Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
I don't think there is anything that mystifies me more than this weird belief that people have on Kyle Shanahan that he's this like special coach. When we've been doing, do you understand this will be his 9th year in San Francisco?
Yeah.
He's 8 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that belief come from? Because I can't figure it out to save my life.
That it seems like every time he has a healthy team, he's contending for a title.
Okay, all right. So let's just say that that's true. It's not, but let's just say that was true. Then why has he not had a healthy team for 5 of the 8 years he was in the league? I mean, is he just the unluckiest dude on the planet? Or is it something you're doing? Now, I'm going to give you a stat that I learned while I was doing the legwork on this. There are 3 coaches actively in the NFL right now that have coached 131 or 132 games. Yes, I know that's a very specific number. The first one's Kyle Shanahan. I told you his record is 70-62.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name me the other 2?
No.
I'll give you a hint. They have the same first name.
I don't know.
Sean McDermott and Sean McVay.
Okay.
Sean McVay is 10 games better than Kyle Shanahan, and Sean McDermott is 16 games better than Kyle Shanahan. You understand that's a big dadgum difference, right?
Sure.
Kyle Shanahan's closest comps in terms of coaches that have been similar to him in what they have done. Bruce Arians, Mike Zimmer, Jerry Glanville, Wayne Fonts, Steve Mariucci. Anybody want to tell me where this belief on Kyle Shanahan comes from? Because I don't get it. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he's won 13 games 2 times. Awesome. In 8 years. Guess what? Kevin O'Connell's done that twice in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a coach on this list that I went, you know what? I can't put him in front of O'Connell, it probably would have been Shanahan.
I mean, it's probably the fact that he has competed for the championship in his conference
3 times.
4 times. And lost the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good track record.
Except for the fact you look at the other. See, this is the cherry picker argument with Kyle Shanahan. Well, he's been in the AFC Championship game 4 times. Yeah, and he's lost 10-plus games 4 other times. But it's always injuries. Or maybe Kyle Shanahan's just not a very good coach. Or maybe Kyle Shanahan and his dad are the exact same guy. He is the number one reason I cannot for the life of me figure out where this blind belief in San Francisco comes from. Mm-hmm. Yes, they had 3 really good teams. They had 1 really lucky team. Because you're right, he has played in 4 NFC Championship games. The 4th one, they barely made the playoffs and then won 2 games.
But that's why you get that. Because, I mean, because he's, 8 years in, right?
Yeah.
So half the time he's competing for the conference championship.
Okay. So if I told you I'm going to sell you a car, and half the time it'll do 170 with no traffic, and the other half of the time it'll explode with you in it. Is that a car you really want to drive? Because that's Kyle Shanahan in a nutshell.
But when it doesn't perform well, you've taken the carburetor out of it. That's kind of where that falls apart for me.
All right, so what carburetor did you take out of it last year? What did you take out of it last year?
Let's see. Last year, how many dudes were there missing last year?
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
Brandon Ayuk missed half the year.
Brandon Ayuk got hurt.
Okay, so this is the nicest way I can say this. So you're bitching to me about a guy that he's missing a mediocre first-round receiver. Meanwhile, he's got another one already on the team that he chose, another Pro Bowler, the best tight end in the NFL, and a quarterback you just gave $260 million to. You need all of that to go 6-11. That's not a good coach. It's just not. Oh, but he didn't have that one receiver, and he didn't have his running back. I watched John Harbaugh win with me playing running back. Yeah, he's got Derrick Henry now because he went, well, that'll be fun. That'll be a nice little toy. And yet we make these excuses for Kyle Shanahan. Year after year after year after year. Everybody in the NFL deals with injuries. The only one that turns into a total grumper turd is Kyle Shanahan. He's the only one. There is no other because everybody else has been fired by now. Matt LaFleur, yeah, guess what? He deals with injuries. What happens to him? When things go sideways with the Green Bay Packers, hey, what happened to him?
He loses in the playoffs as well.
He loses in the playoffs. He doesn't go 6-11. People rail on Matt LaFleur and go, Matt LaFleur's a bum. His bad year, he was 8-9, and he dealt with more injuries than Kyle Shanahan did last year. Meanwhile, oh, by the way, he's won 11 games 4 times. This is just, it's one of those arguments to me that I don't even really know what to equate it to. I mean, the best example, and this just came to my head, and the more I'm thinking about it, the more I love it. Bob Dylan's a great singer. No, he's not. He might have been a great songwriter. He's a horrific singer. If you heard some random person on the side of the road that sang like Bob Dylan, you give them $5 to shut up. Same thing. Same premise here. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's not terrible. That and honestly, you don't even love Kyle Shanahan. That wasn't directly aimed at you. I set you up to do that because I knew you'd do it.
What?
To try to defend Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, sure. And I'll continue to defend him.
But you don't believe it. But you don't believe it.
Do. Of course I do. I feel like he is a good coach.
Where'd you have him on your list?
7.
Woo! Not like you think he's elite.
I mean, he's just outside of that company.
He's not even close to that for me. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, and I'll be honest with you, my 7 is Pete Carroll. You could tell me that Pete Carroll died 2 years ago, I'd still take Pete Carroll over Kyle Shanahan. You could put a popsicle stick up his keister and carry him around on a marionette, and I'd still take Pete Carroll. Because there is such a big jump. And I've got like 3 more coaches before we get into that. I got 7 that are dogs. I got 7 that I think can win with anybody.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to just ask you one more question. So, DeMeco Ryans worked for who? When he was a coordinator, who was he a coordinator for?
For San Francisco.
Yeah, he worked for Kyle Shanahan. If you had switched those two, let's say Houston came up with some big old offer for Kyle Shanahan and the DeMeco Ryans became the new head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Which one of those teams do you think wins more games? Kyle Shanahan, who's done less with more, or DeMeco Ryans, who's done more with less?
Kyle Shanahan with C.J. Stroud, though, would be interesting. I don't know that it'd be much different, honestly.
I don't know that it would be a ton different. I think the defense would have stayed intact. That's another thing that has always bothered me about Kyle Shanahan. You know, it's funny. All these years he's been in the league, and he's this offensive genius, and they score all these, or they put up all these yards. You know what's funny? They're never up there in points. He's been an OC or a head coach in this league for 15 or 16 years. He's only finished in the top 5 of points 5 times. Finishes in the top 5 of yards all the time. Never finishes up there in points. But then you go down the line and you look at defense and you go, man, you know, the defenses have always been good, and the defenses always correlate to years that he's been good. And he has less than nothing to do with the defense. I think Kyle Shanahan hires reasonably well. The minute he doesn't do that, they've cratered into the ocean. And what tells me that is the fact they ran to Robert Saleh with their hat in their hand and went, hey, we've tried for 3 years to replace you and we can't do it.
All right, let's go to break here in the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday. We are to the top 10 of the head coaches for 2025 in the NFL season. We'll be right back.
Our iHeartRadio music.
And we're clear.
Presented by Capital
I broke my computer on my Kyle Shanahan rant.
September 9th.
Well, don't do that.
It's just spinning at me.
On Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Gear up, music fans. Hyundai is back as a proud partner of the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Join us as our electrifying all-star lineup hits the stage like never before.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine, using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No band-aids, no masking the pain. This goes to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. People with serious joint pain are finally finding relief. No pills, no surgery, no downtime. Just real results that let you move easier and live better. And the best part, you can get a free second opinion. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. It doesn't cost anything to learn more for something that could be life-changing. Call QC Kinetics Asheville today at 828-770-8529. That's 828-770-8529. 828-770-8529.
Who are the 25 greatest football players to grace the gridiron since the year 2000? Introducing NFL Daily's top 25 players of the last 25 years. Join me, Greg Rosenthal, and an all-star cast of media personalities, including Mina Kimes, Steve Weish, Kevin Harlan, and more, for a look at football's best since the turn of the century. Open your free iHeartRadio app Search NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal and listen now.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, ain't God?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. Welcome back in to the program here on a Power Rankings Tuesday, talking top NFL coaches for the 2025 NFL season, because that's all we got left. We got the top 10 that is left, and before we get into the top 10, we do have a super chat to get here. All right, from Sir Jimothy. Says, which coach is bad but will do the best this year and vice versa due to their team, coordinators, and schedule? So which coach is bad but will do the best?
Kyle
because
Shanahan.
of the things around it. I was going to say Nick Sirianni.
I don't think Nick's a bad coach. We're going to talk about him in a few minutes. My first thought was going to be Kyle Shanahan. My second one would be Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
And his is really that they just play in a less than it's not a good division. They in Atlanta are the best of a mediocre division. That while I think it's getting better, it's still not on par with the other 7 in the NFL.
Right. I want to say Zach Taylor, but I don't think they have the defense to make that team good.
He's not a bad answer either. It would be one of those three.
He's one of those that, and it's like I said when we talked about him. I mean, the guy can have a top 5 offense week in and week out because of what he has on the field. It's not necessarily because of him. So you're going Bowles?
Yeah, I'll go Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good one. I'll stick with Zach Taylor because I don't see much hopes for any of the other bad coaches that we've ranked here.
Now, conversely, a good coach that I think's about to have a bad year. I don't really have one of those. I think all of the ones that I'm really fond of have pretty good teams. If I was going to say one that's going to have a bad year, it'd be Minnesota. So I'd go with O'Connell if I had to.
I was going Matt LaFleur. We were both going same division, different teams.
Ooh, that one's interesting.
Because I just don't buy it. I don't buy it with them, that Green Bay team, and Matt LaFleur. I mean, I've always been kind of a Matt LaFleur detractor. I remember many times saying it's Matt LaFleur, not Aaron Rodgers. That's the problem with this team.
Oh, we did the same thing with Mike McCarthy, though.
We did.
That's how Green Bay works. They have a we give the quarterback credit and we hammer the coach.
Mm-hmm.
The more I'm looking at Matt LaFleur being 2 spots behind Kyle Shanahan, I'm thinking Kyle Shanahan should have been 13 and LaFleur should have been 11.
At number 10 on the power ranking,
Sean Payton.
Okay.
I like Sean Payton. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good. I do not think he's a great coach. And he got a lot out of Bo Nix last year. I don't know that you're going to see that again. I think more of my problem with Payton is him as a personnel guy, not him as a coach, which is probably a little disingenuous. There's a chance I should have had Sean Payton a spot or two higher.
Mm-hmm. He was my 8. I mean, he is a Super Bowl champion winning head coach. And yes, there is that whole, well, he had Drew Brees. But
That
I mean,
helps.
last year he did not make Bo Nix did not look as lost as I thought he may when he came into the league. And I think a lot of that has to do with Sean Payton.
I think Sean Payton has had a really good career. I also kind of look at Sean Payton and go, is this going to work? Like, are you changing with the times, or are you really just trying to make the Broncos what you had with the Saints with wish pieces? But I will admit, I probably should have him 2 spots higher because I do like him. As a coach, I like him better than both the 2 in front of him. So I'm actually going to – I don't ever do this.
No,
I'm actually going to audible on the fly and put Sean Payton at 8.
Okay. So, scratch that, reverse it. At number 10.
Dan Quinn. I love Dan Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Dan Quinn also has a personnel guy in Adam Peters. And once I sounded that out, because it was really easy for me when I wrote it down, and then I sounded it out and went, no. Dan, if you take that as the tiebreaker, Dan shouldn't be that high. But I look at what Dan Quinn did last year. It's kind of D'Amico Ryans on steroids. You took a roster that was not good all the way to the NFC Championship game. Oh, and by the way, it ain't the first time you've done it. I think Dan Quinn might be the most undervalued coach in my lifetime.
If he's good, then yes, he is the most underrated coach of your lifetime. Because I don't know that he's a good coach. I mean, as in, can he coach football?
No doubt.
Can he motivate players? Absolutely. Do his players love him? Yes. Yes, they do. He can work a defense. There are a few in the game that are better. I'm just not sure he's a good head coach. I mean, we saw the first stint with Atlanta, and yes, they did get to the NFC Championship game. But then after that, I mean, it ran stale pretty quick. And a few mediocre seasons, and it was on to the next thing. Last year with Washington, that was a hell of a run. Nobody saw that coming. Not to the level that it did. A 12-5 season was not in the cards for them. Jaden was
as
so
much as
good
I love
last
that team, I didn't even see that coming. And we were the guys telling you early on in the season, Washington's better than you think.
Right. And
I
they're gonna win
remember
more
being
games than you
at,
think.
I can't remember where I was. I was on one of those trips by myself when they hired Quinn. I was either at the Senior Bowl. I think I was at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I had hopped on the phone, and I remember you just railing on the Dan Quinn thing. And I'm like, I don't understand why people don't understand that he's a good, not great coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great defensive coach. And last year, he got a lot out of that Washington team. And I think he will again.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've upgraded the team now.
You have.
And
I
now
think
there's
the end of him in Atlanta, we thought that team was just going to be good forever. Because it looked like a roster that was reasonably young. It wasn't. Looked like a team that was going to stay around and hang around for a long time. They didn't. Matt Ryan fell off a cliff. I don't really think that was Dan Quinn's fault. I think he gets a lot of flack for a lot of things that aren't his fault.
Okay. So Dan Quinn at 10. Who's 9?
Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni at 9.
And this, I'll be honest with you, Sirianni was the name I kept looking at going, I can't, with a clear conscience, have him in front of Sean Payton. They both won a Super Bowl. Okay, one of them got Mickey Loomis. One of them got Howie Roseman. I'm sorry, there's a difference in those two.
Right.
And that was when I was sounding it out to myself. That was, I'm about to hammer Sean Payton as a personnel guy. This is not a personnel guy ranking. Because I don't give Sirianni any credit for the personnel. I think he did a good job of galvanizing that team, which is why. Do I think he's the 9th best coach in the NFL? No, I don't. But I think he works in that city. Sirianni he's another one of those that if he were to somehow crash Philadelphia into the rocks, I wouldn't be shocked if nobody ever hired him. Like, say somehow he just absolutely crashes this Eagles team into the. I'll give you a good example.
Yeah,
if he did what Dan Quinn did in Atlanta, I don't know that he would ever get another head coaching job in the NFL.
Sure. He takes this Super Bowl team that we just saw, and he turns that into back-to-back 7-9 seasons, or 7-10 seasons now. Of course. That would be a disastrous fall that nobody would ever think about him again. Now, something else happens. He separates with Philadelphia for whatever reason before it goes south like that. And yeah, he'll get another shot. They gave Doug Peterson another shot. Somebody will give him another shot. It wasn't until this past year when I saw how the team, as you said, galvanized around him, that I went, okay, well, maybe I'm being too hard on him. Maybe we are being a little, I don't know, objective or subjective about Nick Sirianni. Because how he comes off and he doesn't carry himself like normal, historic NFL coaches. We talked about what a buffoon he is. But then throughout the season, I don't know. Like I said, it was the way the players came around him more that made me go, okay, maybe there's something more to him than we're giving him credit for. But he still did have an all-time great team. So you can't give him, I don't think you should give him a whole lot of the credit.
I give him some. I give Howie Roseman more.
He gets some. It's not the, oh, my God, they would not have won without him.
And Vic Fangio. I think you got to give him some credit, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if Nick Sirianni had, gotten some, non-fatal disease that he could not, I don't want to wish ill on the guy, but, like, he could not have been on the sidelines for the last 4 weeks of the season, that team probably still would have won. I think.
I agree with you. Let me ask you a question. I'm curious if you have the same answer to this that I do.
Mm-hmm.
If Philadelphia somehow manages to crash into the rocks, give me your top 3 reasons why in order.
Oh, let's see. Number 1 is going to be Jalen Hurts is just turnover prone and turns into everything I think you've said about him that he potentially could be on the bad side as a quarterback. I would say 2 would probably be the wheels finally fell off Saquon Barkley. And 3 would be, you'd have to have a lot happen on that defense. I would probably have to say Nick Sirianni blows the call.
I will go Sirianni 1, injuries 2, Sirianni 3.
Okay.
We have a super chat that I'm going to need you to read because I'm not sure if I can say that. But
okay,
you
I haven't looked at it yet, so let's take a break.
Okay.
Then we'll come back and I'll proofread that and make sure that I can say it.
We get into certain situations that I'm like, I know what I absolutely can't say. I know what I can always 100% get away with. And then there's that nebulous of, I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, you're into Sportsocracy. We'll be right back on a Power Rankings Tuesday.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Showers, thunderstorms scattered around the next few afternoons. It's really not today. I think later in the week and toward the weekend, we might start seeing some pretty high totals of rain coming in, and we may be looking at a little chance of some flooding. I know that's been on everybody's mind. A few showers, thunderstorms, 90 this afternoon to feel a little bit hotter. Any showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers, storms tomorrow, 88. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Summer deals are on at Apple Tree Superstore with Apple Tree Honda, Apple Tree Acura, and the home of the Apple Tree Advantage and the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at AppleTreeSuperstore.com and at I-26 Airport Road, Asheville.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
You've got an app for your music, but what about
No, we're not doing crimes.
sports team or live local news and weather?
Correct.
Things start to change. Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio. The free iHeartRadio app.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors help
Tell you a
neighbors,
fun
and
stat.
We learned in desperate times, one of the best things to have around is a
7
redneck
of the
with a
10
chainsaw.
highest paid guys in Major League Baseball did not make the All-Star
When
team.
you live in these mountains,
Nice.
you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help,
The only
that they
3
heard
that
on the
did were
radio,
Zach
the
Wheeler,
Chainsaw
Aaron
Brothers
Judge, and Jacob
are still
deGrom.
here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious.
I got to turn my light on before
Recipes galore.
World War IV breaks out outside.
Need to whip up a dessert, entree?
Oh, it's nuts.
No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step, with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
All right, we are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Super chat from Kevin. Kyle Shanahan wipes back to front. We all know you don't do that. It's not the way to. It's not the way to do that at all. Like I said, he does things differently.
Incorrectly.
Question. Knowing what we know now, how does the NFC West finish in order? Also, give us a hot take breakout MVP 2025.
I'll go Rams 1, Cardinals, Seahawks tied for 2, because I think they both make the playoffs. And San Francisco 4.
Okay.
San Francisco got a really easy schedule, and I still don't. That defense is bad.
But Bryce Huff is going to change everything.
Bryce Huff's going to help. The only thing is, and trust me, this comes from a Jets fan. I watched Bryce Huff's best years. On the high side, he plays about 35% of snaps. So he'll give you a little pass rush. I'm still not quite sure how you're planning on stopping anybody from running just down your throat. But yeah, I'll go Rams 1, Seahawks, Cardinals right there at 2. And I'll go Rams are 11-6, Cardinals, Seahawks are 10-7, 49ers are 8-9.
Breakout MVP 2025.
You're not going to like my answer.
Oh, dear.
It's Jaden Daniels.
Okay. I didn't feel like that was safe.
Well, I mean, what'd you want me to say?
I don't know.
Where'd you think I was going to go? That Braylon Allen. I'll put $1 on that, and I'll retire if I'm right.
Justin Herbert.
I don't hate that one.
That's the one that came to my mind of if there was a off-the-board MVP. And the reason I say that's safe with Jaden is because, I already feel like he's up there in the odds, is he not?
I'm sure he is. I haven't looked in a while.
Top 5 MVP odds for the season?
Oh, so you're wanting me to go one that's more off the beaten path than that?
That's what I was thinking. But
the reason I can't go with you on Herbert is that they're going to run the ball 500,000 times. You're right. Jaden is 5. Justin Herbert is 7. I mean, it'd be a total shot in the dark. But the one I keep staring at is Jared Goff. Detroit remains to be as good as they are, and instead of Ben running the ball over and over again, which, by the way, is what he should have done, they let Jared Goff turn it loose, and he throws for 5,000 yards or something like that.
Right.
That's the one I'm looking at going, I like those odds. I'm still not throwing a ton at it, but I like those odds.
All right, we've got to zip through the final ranking here of the top coaches for 2025. 8.
8 was Sean Payton.
8 was Sean Payton. That's right. 7.
Pete Carroll.
Okay. I mean, I believe that speaks for itself.
It really does. I mean, look, Pete's a great coach.
Out here dropping elbows on defensive players.
Well, look, Pete's a great coach, and he's been a great coach, and he's been successful pretty much every season of his career. You know, it's hard for me to think he's going to fall off he's just going to fall off the world with the Raiders.
No, it's not going to happen. Pete Carroll at 7. Who's at 6?
My 6 is, and I'm going to catch flack for this, my 6 is Dan Campbell.
Okay.
I went a little safer with it's not that I don't like Dan. It's that I went a little safe solely because you did have 2 of the best coordinators in the league. So I'm not going to lie and say I didn't kind of hedge my bet there. I love Dan Campbell. It's a little risky for my taste sometimes, but I do really like Dan Campbell.
Right. That's one of the things that I love about Dan Campbell. But you love it until it bites you.
Exactly.
And he has been bitten a couple of times, but it's never been really the back-breaking decision.
Sure.
All right, at 5.
I think this is the one I'm going to catch the most flack over. Mike Vrabel.
Okay. Mike Vrabel. When Mike Vrabel was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, did you ever feel like he was the fifth best coach in this league?
Pretty much the entire time he was the coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Really?
So his first 4 years, he lost 24 games. Mm-hmm. I never at any point thought that roster was good, let alone 12-5 good. I think Mike Vrabel drew a real short straw with the Titans, and he made it work. And now, if you don't believe me in that, I'm going to give you just a couple little tidbits here. His quarterback was Ryan Tannehill. Hey, Ryan Tannehill work anywhere else in the NFL?
No.
No. He only had 8 games of Derrick Henry. This is on a team that went 12-5. Deontay Foreman was his running back and Dontrell Hilliard was his running back for half of this season. Mm-hmm. Those guys work anywhere else?
No.
No. A.J. Brown was the one. That kind of speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. Can you name another receiver on that team?
Boo. Nick Westbrook-Akina.
He was a rookie. And by the way, he was the, I believe, second leading receiver on the team. Julio Jones, Chester Rogers, Jeff Swain, Marcus Johnson, Josh Reynolds, Dez Fitzpatrick. Any of those guys do anything anywhere else? No, he went 12-5. He went 12-5 with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Mike Vrabel is a phenomenal coach. Phenomenal coach. If Mike Vrabel, just because I want to keep heaping on Kyle Shanahan, if Mike Vrabel had the weapons that Kyle Shanahan had, he'd have a Super Bowl ring by now. Because that injured 49er roster that you keep telling me about is why Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel would have killed for the injured side of that 49er roster. I mean, and I also need you to understand, this is coming from a Jet fan talking about the current coach of the New England Patriots. I think Mike Vrabel's a great coach.
I mean, yeah. I don't think he's that great. I mean, I'm with you. I'm behind Mike Vrabel. But
would you have had all three of the three right behind him? So you'd have had Campbell, Carroll, and Sean Payton ahead of him?
No doubt.
I disagree with you solely because I think those three have had advantages that Vrabel didn't. But that one will play itself out. Mm-hmm. Because I like what he's building in New England. I could be wrong. I'm not telling you I'm infallible.
Yep.
I look at Vrabel and go, that Tennessee roster broke into 84 pieces. Other than that, he had been a successful over 500 playoff competing coach, and he didn't have squat.
Right. All right, 4.
John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh at 4.
We can just reel these off because it's the 4 names that I think we would all have up here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, John's at 4. Who's at 3?
Jim Harbaugh.
Number 2.
I don't think God liked me having Jim Harbaugh at 3. That's the first time I've ever heard an actual fizz in my headset. And then the loudest strike of thunder in the history of Buncombe County struck outside my door. Mm-hmm. Sean McVay is my 2, and Andy Reid is my 1.
Yes. Jim over John.
If Jim was the head coach, I'll tell you how I sounded it out, and I'm again not going to tell you it's infallible.
Okay.
If Jim had been the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens for the last 17 years, would he have more wins than John?
maybe.
Jim's a kooky dude. Like that. Jim is a kooky guy. I also think he's an unbelievably good coach. Jim Harbaugh won at Stanford. Would you like to hear the list of guys that have won at Stanford for any real meaningful period of time? Because it's a piece of paper with Jim Harbaugh and Bill Walsh's name on it.
Shaw was good there, wasn't he?
For an hour using Harbaugh's players, and it regressed every single year.
Okay.
I like David Shaw, but Jim Harbaugh's a great coach. Yeah. I get he dresses like your middle-aged mother, and he's a kooky Madookie, but he's a good coach.
All right, there you have it. The top coaches for 2025. I'll be honest with you, that one did throw me for a loop. I didn't think you were going to be Jim Harbaugh over John Harbaugh. They're both close. I mean, they're both in the elite category for me. But I like John better than Jim.
Stephen Tao said, we spend way too much time on the bottom guys and then have to rush through the top five. You want me to tell you why we do that? Works the same way with every power ranking. It's easier to talk smack about a guy than go, hey, you know who's great? Andy Reid. Why is he great?
Ain't he great?
Duh. That's the explanation for Andy Reid and McVay. We don't do it on purpose. But these same handful of guys are up here every single year. Because they are just fantastic coaches. Like Sean McVay is, and I'm not going to lie, and you're going to tell me I'm crazy when I say this, I had the hardest time not putting Sean McVay at 1. Andy's the legend. I get it. Super Bowls. I get it. I think stride for stride, Sean McVay is right there with him.
Hopefully he will have as long and as successful as a head coaching career as Andy Reid has had. He is still but 39 years old,
which is insane.
Just so we're throwing that out there. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Back tomorrow at noon on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app with a Womack Wednesday. We will see you then.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Showers, thunderstorms scattered around.
I was fighting off an aggressive sneeze the last 3 minutes of that.
The weekend we might start seeing some pretty high totals.
Good job.
And we may be looking at a little chance of some flooding. I know that's been on everybody's mind. A few showers, thunderstorms, 90 this afternoon to feel a little bit hotter. Any showers and thunderstorms around tonight and upper 60s. Scattered showers.
My allergies are killing me.
More showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Payday. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is definitely working hard for you. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions.
I don't believe so.
To the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check.
Okay.
Save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Yep. Okay.
Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Okay.
As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger.
Nice.
Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones.
Right on. All right. See you.
Texas floods have impacted countless residents. Families have lost their homes. Communities and lives have been shattered, and children are still missing. The need is urgent. The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country has launched the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund to support response, relief, and long-term recovery efforts. All donations will go directly to trusted local organizations to provide food, shelter, healthcare, and hope. Join us today and donate to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund at communityfoundation.net.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has two things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.